What's up, y'all? It's Dark with DLD After Dark. So I had one of our viewers hit me up, sent me an email, and they were like, hey, that pocket dump video that you did was hilarious. And I would love to actually see a mostly serious pocket dump. Like, what do you really carry? So I figured I would actually do a real life pocket dump, like what I'm carrying right now. And I'm also going to go over a vehicle loadout, like what I have in the car right now. It's not necessarily what I typically carry, but it's just pulled the bag out of the car, so I figured we'd get rolling. So initially, of course, you always got to keep the DLD After Dark patch, of course, that glows in the dark. Now, I have downgraded in the quality of my gear a great deal on purpose, and I'll kind of explain why. So first things first is handgun. So I carry a Glock 43X, and this is with the S15 magazines. So this gives a gun that is a fraction of the size of the 19. This gives you 15 plus 1, and it is hot, so we're not gonna mess with it because it's a carry gun and I carry it. And next carried, so this is carried basically at like 1230 appendix carry. Next to it lies an additional S15 15 round magazine for the 43X, and I have, this is my admission, okay? So I have spent thousands of dollars on gear, like holsters and thigh rigs and I mean, not even getting into like plate carriers and the gear for that and medical and all that stuff. But all BS aside, I stopped carrying some of the best gear that I have, and I went back to Old Faithful, which is my first holster that I ever bought, which is a terribly crappy, there may not even be a brand on it, JBP, whoever that is, whatever that is. This is by far one of the best appendix carry holsters I have ever worn. It carries the firearm very nice and low. I can bend over, I could do a somersault if I needed to, I could run, jump, hop a fence, and truthfully, as far as retention, my belt and my belly keep it very well retained. And then for my spare magazine, I literally carry a super cheap, this is made by DFW holsters, crappy mag carrier with a literal zip tie on it, because this thing was able to swing like 360. It was a little too much. It's fallen out of my pants before. So quick zip tie, boom, problem fixed. Very quick, very healthy retention, enough to keep it retained, but a quick tug gets what you need out of it. So that's my primary EDC firearm, and I haven't really changed much on it. I have put a upgraded trigger spring kit on it, bring the trigger to about 3.5 pounds, and I put a HD. It's a set of Trigicon, or these may be Ameriglow. These are Ameriglow with a HD tritium front sight and the Hackathorn style black rear sight. That's like my go-to for defensive handguns. There's one other go-to as well, but that's my primary. Now for a blade, I usually carry my cold steel. I got a bunch of cold steel, but the go-to is typically the let me grab it, I'll show you. I have another one that I'm carrying right now, but the Black Talon is usually what I carry, just because for defensive use. I mean, that claw is hard to argue with. and could really be helpful in a defensive situation if you know where to go with it. But also, as a utilitarian use, it's great. You can cut through zip ties just like bink, like butter. But today, alas, I am not carrying that. Today, I am carrying the Gerber. This is the Gerber Fast. What was it? There was another. I forgot the exact designation, but it's a Gerber Fast, and it is indeed fast. Now you gotta throw the safety at the same time, well, separately. So you throw the safety and then bring your thumb, drag it to bring this out. This is spring assisted. It is not spring operated. So this is legal to carry in my state. This is like anywhere from $60 to $80 knife, depending on where you go. The auto version is actually issued to the U.S. Army, but this is the Civi version, and I've just gotten pretty quick at, actuating it. But this is also great. Love the Tanto blade. It's probably the only Gerber that I would recommend, because most Gerbers suck. But that one's great. Secondly, I always carry the hot sauce. This is one thing I forgot to mention in my last video. I always have it on my left side, always. And a lot of people do not carry backup firearms. I personally believe that if you are going to carry a firearm, then you may as well carry an extra mag. If you're going to carry a firearm and an extra mag, then you also may as well carry a blade and a less than lethal option, which is where this bad boy comes in. But I typically carry a backup as well. And today I have in a pocket holster a Glock 42 that is actually very similar in color and much smaller. This is a single stack 380. It's also hot, so we're not going to play too much with it. But I carry it in a Galco pocket holster, and I carry a secondary magazine that's 7+1. So typically there's 6+1. I made that little dot right there. I actually made a little dot on both of them just so I remember which mags are are which. These have the 95 grain Hornadies, and these have the 102 grain Golden Sabers. That's one thing that we should mention too, the ammunition. So for ammunition, I have the 124 grain HSTs. See if we can get it to focus on that. Let's see, hold up. Yeah, so 124 grain HSTs. Or no, these are 147s, I'm sorry. 147 grain HSTs. Took these out of what I usually run in like my subsonic suppressed stuff and was like, hey, I'm gonna rock those because they're super heavy. They perform very well out of the shorter barrel in the 43X, and 16 rounds of those, can't sneeze at. But those are heavier, so as for other applications, I have a wicked fast 115 grain Federal BPLE plus P+. So these are 115 grain BPLE plus P+. These are zipping. I don't even remember how fast. They're like 1550, 1750 feet per second. They're stupid fast, and it's good to kind of have a balance of different rounds for different applications. And as you guys are looking at this, yes, my daughter put stickers on my holster and my magazine carrier because that's what 4-year-olds do. Also, of course, I got my wallet, and never leave home without this, and that is literally it from my person. Now, as I put these back on myself, you can't carry everything on your person, right? So you got to have other options. Now, there are two things that I'll bring up. I like to have what I call a dad sack, which quite literally used to be a fanny pack, but I have upgraded, and I changed to a bag from Voltec. Now this is designed to carry a life pod, which is one of the small safes. But because it's made to carry a very heavy safe, this is an incredibly durable bag that is designed specifically to carry an ass ton of weight. So what I do is, looks like this little guy fell out of the pocket here, but for the 43X, if I ever needed to go for a reload, this one fell out when I just turned that upside down earlier, but I have a little pocket inside that I keep 2 additional mags. These are the factory 10 rounders, but you know, obviously I still find value in, you know, having at least another 10 rounds that I can throw in there. Ew, hair. And same kind of setup. One is the 147 grain HSTs, and one is the 115 grain BPLEs, and they're just, you know, what I prefer to carry for, you know, if you need something zipping, going much faster to maybe defeat a barrier, or if you need something, you know, a little slower and heavier to affect a liquid medium, that would be best. Now, also, you can fit a lot of shat in here. They got so many pockets in here. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I make no money from this shit. I'm just doing this because a viewer asked me to. Next, let's talk about the car bag. Okay, so for the car bag, I don't always have this set up, okay? But I want to be like open and honest and say like, okay, so somebody asked, what am I carrying? What do I have on me? So, you know, I figured I would literally grab what I had. Right now I have a backpack, a literal just normal ass backpack. In that backpack, I have the Kel-Tec Sub 2000. This is the Sub 2000 that takes Glock 17 magazines. Now I realize that that is a different magazine from my EDC handgun. So, if I had to grab a, you know, long gun, even though it's a pistol caliber carbine, and we'll talk more about like this actual setup in a second, and like, you know, some of the details on it. But if I actually like had to go for a pistol caliber carbine, like that's a bad day. So I would figure that I would need a sidearm that has magazine commonality with my PCC, or maybe 2 handguns that have magazine commonality. So I throw in my blue, because they all got to match, right? Blue Glock 17 that was put together. That is a factory frame. It's just had a lot of work done to it to you know, get the double undercut, remove the grooves, reduce the grip. It's just had a grip reduction. Now, these sights, so I'm starting to kind of prefer these to the hackathorn style sights. Let me see if I can get that to focus there. Let's see. Now, these sights right here are money. So there's 2 tritium vials in it, and it's basically like aligning, like I think they're called like Heine or straight 8 sights, something like that. But the front sight is clearly more visible. So, you know, I mean, I guess you can't really confuse the dots anyway, but it's just a very quick target acquisition to have, you know, the 2 dots on top of each other. So this is cleared right now, but that's the other one, the True Blue. That's a battle-worn blue finish that I did. And of course, it would not be complete without a blue 33 round stick mag. And I literally, is that a bug? I literally, when I painted this, did a wax fill on the numbers because I wanted to be able to see the numbers in black. They don't really stand out as much as I thought they would, though. So the numbers are in black, and then I went through with an X-Acto knife and a thumbtack and literally dug the paint out and then cooked it and cured it. Cured it. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Cured it and cooked it after. But it's been kind of torn up, worn out, paint's coming off. It's no big deal, though. It Doesn't need to be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And then I have in the backpack, I have some additional magazines. That is a 17 plus 5, so 22 rounder. That's a 19 rounder. I know it doesn't match, don't give me shit for it. And also a 17 rounder, yes, with a gold base plate. But these have the Liberty Civil Defense, the old ones that are from probably damn near 7 to 10 years ago. And these bad boys are like screaming at over 2,000 feet per second. And these defeat level 3A body armor. So these are good to have, especially out of a 16-inch barrel. Just saying. Now, in addition to that, I have a magazine wallet. And the magazine wallet I've showed off before. There's, a couple ways you can run it. I run it with like half of it with 4 P mags, the other half with 8 9mm mags, like for the Scorpion and the Glock. And I keep, all 3 of them in there. So if I have my AR, great, I have a magazine wallet in there. If I have my Scorpion, great, I have 6 mags in there and 2 Glock mags, because it's highly likely that I'm gonna have a double stack 9mm Glock somewhere with me. So typically I'll have at least 2. These are the subsonic. I mark them with purple tape, so I know if I'm running a can and like in a pinch, I need to know what's subsonic. And then of course the just traditional supersonic. These are just full metal jackets. All different types of ammunition, all serve different applications, okay? So remember, when people give you shit for loading up a 33 rounder of FMJs, they don't understand that everything serves a purpose, okay? Running out of room a little bit, but now the setup on here. So a lot of people use the slide to the side mounts, the ones that rotate to the side for the sub 2000, the ones that like it's on a lever, kind of like a magnifier and all that shit. And I was just like, dude, I don't want to mess with that because it interrupts the locking mechanism of the firearm. If I needed to grab this, then basically all you do is you pinch that to deploy it, and then boom, you're ready. And all you got to do is hit the charging handle like this, or if you're keeping it locked back like that, you just slap, just like an HK. So, sorry, that's loud. It's probably going to take a minute to get the audio back. But this gives you a very easy, like this is a perfect, very easy line of sight for the iron sights. And then all I need to do is swoop, just lean it for the 45-degree red dot. Now, the optic is sitting on a literal cheap-ass $15 mount from Magpul. It is an aluminum mount, and it is rock freaking solid in the M-lock, and I torqued it down with some serious Loctite. So that thing is not going anywhere, and let me see, I don't think I'll be able to, yeah, oh well. But I find it much easier to be able to use the iron sights if needed, and then just transition to a red dot if that makes it easier. Or if I'm hitting a corner and I need to tuck this back on my shoulder, but still need to use the firearm, I can just transition to the red dot really quickly, very easily. And it folds and opens and closes without having to fiddle with, moving the lock or unlocking, then moving the mount for the red dot, and then closing it, then locking it back, and then having it block here, right where the charging handle is, and you have to lock the charging handle back. And if it falls, then it cracks the optic and literally breaks your red dot. Like, no, we're not going to do that. So that is currently my car bag. I don't always carry this. Like, a lot of times I'll throw my 10.3 inch 5.56 or something else. Like, a lot of times I'll throw something else in there that I can, like something that is a rifle caliber, like 5.56 or 7.62 by 39 or something of the like. even if it's the bulgy Crink SBR or in 5.56 or the cheap $470 10.5 inch 5.56 or something. Typically a pistol though, because I don't like lugging around my $2,000 SBRs. But when I do, you bet your ass I'm gonna either carry the Sig Sauer 5.56 SWAT, the 10.5 inch SBR, although it says 10 inch, but I think it's 10.5 inches, or I'll carry the Bulgarian Crink 5.56 SBR, or one of the others. But this is currently my car loadout. It's what's in the whip, and notice how like everything aside from like the mags and shit like that, everything is blue. It's like a perfect setup for the Dilders Nation, and I love it. That blue chem light love right there. So I hope this gives the viewer that asked for it what they wanted, and I hope it gives you guys an idea of how dangerous random people can be. So just be kind, right? Like we always talk about. Rule number 1, be kind. Because you never know who's rolling around with a backpack full of hate like this. So, guys, take your self-preservation very seriously. Make sure that, you do obviously, practice violence responsibly. It's our responsibility to make sure that we are as kind, as caring, and compassionate as possible, and also as dangerous as possible if we ever need to protect ourselves or loved ones or somebody that may be in trouble. So that's it, guys. I hope this was beneficial to y'all. Make sure, if you could, please like, subscribe, cast on to a TV, share it definitely with your mom. If not, share with yourself, friends, or if you have friends. But that's it. Love y'all. Dilders Nation, unite. I'll see y'all later. Peace.